Bayu.
Kena seorang kau apa dah ada info, ada NFNU.
Betul. Lagi benda itu aja.
Ting.
Tanya. Gila.
The fuck kok jadi gini? Ting. 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 Hey. Ting. Ya elah kok gini sih. Sam, ini dia. Lagu. Lah. Udah hilang. Ting. IP. Ting. titik. Mana ya? Gak ada klipnya anjir. The fuck. Ini intro udah. Apa? Ding ding ding. Okay, maybe this one. Ding ding ding. Ding 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 ding. Ding, ding. Gila bagus. Oh iya. Zam, ini bagus ya. Ding ding ding. Bisa. Nah, ding ding. Oke. This is ding ding ding. Oke, wait. Oke, sip. Ya. I need tutorial. Kita coba transisi dulu.
Hi, my name is Peach, and today I'll be showing you a walkthrough of how I made this edit inside of DaVinci Resolve. Well, I'll be going over all your basic transitions from zooming in, zooming out, linear sliding, twixting, time mapping, shakes, blurs, exposures, and color grading. Originally, I was going to provide a download link to these 3 scenes that I used in this edit, but due to YouTube's content policy, I can't distribute a download link to you guys. And trust me, I've learned that the hard way. Other than that, if you do have any questions about anything else, you can join my Discord server with the link down below, where there's a community able to help you with anything that you're confused about in this video. Alright, with that, let's get started. Don't know like the very basics of DaVinci, how to cut, how to import footage in. I would go watch a different video before you watch this video, because this is more getting into things, getting to working and editing with the clips on the timeline and in Fusion. I do have some suggestions if you want to have
Lisensi gratis DaVinci emang gratis, Cok.
I have compound clip bounded to my letter C. I have open in timeline bound to my letter T, and then open in Fusion I have bound to letter X. Control backspace is delete gaps. H is my split clip button. G is my ripple delete button, and F is delete. These last two you don't really need as much as these ones, but these are my keybinds in order to make things work a little easier and faster inside of this whole walkthrough. So yeah, those are just some suggestions. If you don't know how to change controls in DaVinci Resolve, you can go up to DaVinci Resolve, go down to keyboard customization. Here, we're going to search for compound clip. And then right here, I can just hit add, and I hit the letter, whatever letter I want, just for in this case, it would be C, and then go through all the other controls like that. If there's a conflict, you can just overwrite it for now. And then maybe if you need it in the future, go back to it. We're gonna do this, we're gonna use open in timeline. It's gonna be letter T, and open in Fusion, it's gonna be the letter X right there. Delete gaps, it's gonna be control backspace, and then my split clip is going to be H. And for this control, I would just add H to the end of this rather than replacing the whole keybind. Once you do that, save it. You might have a thing where it's like, oh, you want to save this keybind, just name it real quick, and then you'll be off the races. All right, one more thing before we start. We're going to change something in our preferences, so we're going to go up to DaVinci Resolve, click that, go down to preferences, go over to user, and then down to the editing tab over here. And then under general settings, I'm going to set my standard generator duration to 1, also the transition and standard still duration. Although 1 second, this is going to allow us to pull clips from our effects library that are just 1 second long instead of having it like 5 seconds long and then we have to shorten it down. I find 1 second to be the best, at least for anime editing. So once that's done, you can go here and hit save. Now we're going to go over some playback settings in order to make your playback the best as possible. So we're going to go over to the cogwheel at the bottom over here, and this is where our project settings are. Hopefully we're in 1920 by 1080 in the 24 frames per second. If you don't have that, you can just change it here, 24 frames put there, and then select the 24 frames around there. And we can go down and we can go to our cache settings, and you can change this. Usually you have larger file formats over here, and you can change your render cache format. That's the one that's important to DNX or SQ or HQ or LB. I think these are all the same, but you just don't want to uncompress because uncompress makes it a large file and a little bit worse playback. Also set where you want your cache pin to be. Right now I have it going to my external hard drive here, and yeah, that should be good. And then I also check all these off right now if you're using user mode, and that should be everything in the settings over here. Now we're gonna go up to the playback. We're gonna go to render cache and then make sure we have it on either smart or user. Smart, it can
Render cache. Okay, thank you.
does it for us. User sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't in the latest update. And we're gonna make some bins in our media pool first. So in order to do that, we're gonna right click over here, we're gonna make a new bin, and then I'm gonna name them a couple bins we're gonna use in order to sort out clips. Over here, we're gonna make a new bin, and then I'm gonna name them a couple bins we're gonna use in order to sort out clips or our compound clips when we make them, because they're gonna go into our media pool once we make them. And so our slow motion, as well as we're gonna do new bin and plug that footage. And then I think those are the basis of the most stuff you're gonna need. And yeah, everything's gonna be sorted into here. So we can open our footage bin, and then we're gonna import our footage into wherever we have it. Here I have it in my desktop right here. The footage I'm going to be using here is the edit with me, and it should be there. Just drag that into DaVinci Resolve and place it into footage over here, and then we can drag this footage onto our timeline. It's going to have our footage of our clips and the audio that we're going to be using. Right here, you would probably have it open like this. I like to put it down like that. I don't really use the preview. Kind of helps with playback as well. I'm also going to open the little tabs up here real quick. So if you click this button over here, and we have timeline view options, this is going to click this button for stack timelines. This is going to allow us to, when we open up these other clips, to have these tabs pop up over here. So we can just go back to the main tab over here, which is our main timeline, and we can just rename this if you want. F2 to rename it, and it's going to be like main timeline. And so now you can see that'll pop up there as well. All right, let's get to the editing. We're going to unlink these clips here because all of our footage is here, as well as our audio. Let's leave that for now. We're going to unlink this. We're going to highlight this, and we're going to hit Control-Alt-L, and that'll unlink these clips to here. And then we're going to go and find the cuts where we need to. And so I'm going to use can just drag this playhead in order to show where the footage is, as well as use our arrow keys to go frame by frame in order to see where it is, the cut is. So if we want to go right where the scene changes, so here, that's where we want to make our cut. But we don't want to make a cut right now because our footage is not selected. So select the footage first, then hit cut, so it won't cut our audio. We want our audio to do the same. And then we're gonna do the same thing for the next clip around here, right there. Click and end, and then I think there's a black screen at the end here, so we don't need that. And click end, and then we can just delete this right here. Delete with the backspace button, and bam, we should be good. This is the clips we're going to use, and right now we want to sync it to our audio. So I'll unmute that real quick. So we want to sync this to the places that we want to sync our footage to. This is the sequence of clips we're going to use. If we this scene, and then this scene. We're going to contain our clips first into the pacing that we want it. Then I'm going to do transitions first. Then I'm going to go into Twixtor in order to time remap our footage so it's as long as we want it to be. And then I want to go into extra stuff like adding shakes, adding exposures, adding blurs, directional blurs, just to make things look better. So I want to sync up our music first, and we can do that with markers. If we just hit M on our keyboard and make a marker on our timeline, we hit M while selecting something selected, it'll put a marker on the actual clip, but we don't want to do that right now. We just wanted to put markers on our timeline so we know where to sync it. So here, that's the main beat. We don't really need to do the first one. Here is our second beat, so I'm just going to go like right over there, will work. And then again over here, and here, and then maybe a little bit before this. Right there, it works, and I don't think we need that marker right there, that space. All right, so we have our marker set up. We can just put it right there. Go here. So in order to make the edit that we're going to do is we're going to do a zoom out at the beginning, and we're going to have it go zoom into his face, and then we're going to have a fake zoom outwards in order to have like a hit the beat that's there, and then we're going to slide to the left to show her over here as well as this moving clip, and then we're going to zoom in and then go and do a zoom out at the end, and that'll teach you the basics of the transitions for our zoom out, our zoom in, and our slides. I'm going to line up the footage first that we have over here. We can even bring it up to a little bit to see where we want it, and put on multiple layers. That works. We want this to be here, and now I'm going to compound clip this footage into individual clips. And right now, since you don't have enough footage to go along the whole way, I'm just going to duplicate these clips by holding down Alt and dragging it to the right. I'm going to do this for the same for this clip, and we don't need to do it for this last clip over here because it already takes up the whole space. But then for the second part over here, I'm going to hit R on my keyboard and bring up these change clip speed settings, and I'm going to reverse the speed. So I'll change that there, reverse. Now it does the end at the beginning, and I'm also going to hit R again, and I'll hit freeze frame right here. And so it's going to stay on this frame for when it ends like this. And I'm going to do the same thing for this clip here. Hit R and reverse speed. It puts it backwards, and then click off, click again, and then freeze frame right there. And now we have this clip ending here, and then now we can compound clip our clips. So I'm going to go and open my compound clip bin over here. I'll highlight this, right click, go up to new compound clip, or since we bound it to C, if you did that earlier, we can hit C, and then it'll ask us to name the clip. We don't really need to name it. And then we just do the same thing for this. So for this layer, I'm just going to hit C, new compound clip, there's our footage. And then for this last one, C compound clip, there's our footage. And now we can shorten this down to where we want this to be. I want this one to be here. I'm just going to drag the end over like that. So to clip, there's our name it. To C, if you did that earlier, we can hit C, highlight this, right click, go up to new compound clip, or since we bound it to C, if you did that earlier, we can hit C, and then I'll ask the C is down to where we want this to be. I want this one to be here. I'm just going to drag the end over like that, so that'll shorten that down. Bring this down like this, and then we're good. And then we can also, instead of cutting this, we can just bring this down, and it'll cut this over here, and then we can get rid of this here. Maybe cut this or drag this over to get rid of that there. All right, and that's our footage, and now we're going to do transitions on top of that footage. In order to do transitions, what I like to do is put those on adjustment clips rather than doing it on the clip itself, and just like that separation, and see that we can actually see the layers of what we're actually doing. You don't know what an adjustment clip is? An adjustment clip is a clip that we could put onto our timeline above certain clips, and that'll allow us to control the clip that is underneath it on the timeline. In order to get an adjustment clip, we can go up to the effects over here, go to toolbox, go to effects, and then there's adjustment clip over here. If you have the star over here, you can favorite it, and you can put it in your favorites over here. So I'm just going to grab the adjustment clip over here, put it on top, and let's match it to the same length of the footage that is right there. And then we could alt and drag to duplicate this clip like that, and then I'm going to do that as well like that.
Tambahkan aja seling. Adjust clip. Banyak jir. Ding ding. Apa? Holy fuck. Oh, udah bisa. Ya, banyaknya. Shit. Nice.
And then I'm going to cut off the end right there and delete that. All right, now we have adjustment clips on top of our footage right here, and then we could go inside this clip. So either right click and open in Fusion, or you get the Fusion button and that'll go to the Fusion page of wherever our playhead is, and that whatever clip is on top, or we hit X while our clip is selected, and that'll bring us to the Fusion page, which is where we are right now. And so when you open up the Fusion page, you're probably gonna have two viewers like this, and you're probably not gonna be looking at any nodes. Maybe you are. In order to look at a node, you're gonna click the node, hit 2 on your keyboard, and that'll show you where you are on your node space. And then I'm going to click this viewer, and this is gonna only show us the second viewer. Right now we're looking at this 2 viewer. We're gonna only show this second viewer over here.
Oh iya. Biar enak. Nah. Oke.
Here as our main window. If you want to move around in Fusion, you could hold down middle click and drag the nodes panel wherever you want, as well as in the viewer you can drag that as well, and you can hit Control F to recenter that, and you can zoom in on the scene by holding Control and scrolling into the scene, and then holding down middle click to move around and drag wherever you want. Zoom in, zoom out, and then Control F. Yeah, that should be the viewer controls. And we have these nodes here. So if you don't know how nodes work, you can go watch the Basics of Fusion by Casey Ferris, but we're not going to do too complicated stuff if you haven't watched that video. Basically, the gist of it is these nodes connect to other nodes in order to put effects. For example, what we're going to add is the transform node. So hit shift space, and this brings up this select tool panel that we can type in whatever tool we want. We're going to transform, type in transform like that. And you have these two transforms here. We're going to use the one with the XF at the end like that.
Oh. Oh iya, agak beda.
That hit add, and then we need to add this transform node to our node graph that is here. So media in, that's where our main footage is, and the media out is where it's sending out to our timeline, so we can actually see it in the edit page that we're over here. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna grab this line and click it, and that'll get rid of it. We're gonna drag the square to get the line back again, and then we're gonna bring this to that yellow triangle over here. That is the input of this transform node, and we can view the transform node by hitting 2, and now we can see it in our viewer, and then we can drag this transform node to our media out at the end, and then view that as well. And you don't need to view it every single time, but I'm just showing you this is what it's connected to. And then right now it doesn't change anything yet because we didn't do any changes on our transform node. But click our transform node, we can see all the transformations that we can do inside the inspector panel that's over here, and that is either like the position or the size, and then other things like aspect or angle, and flipping it to the other side, or even do some other stuff. Uncheck it, stretch it like this, something like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a simple zoom out at the beginning. So what we're going to do is we're going to keyframe the size. I don't know what keyframing is. Keyframing is allowing you to save a certain value. Each of these controls have values, and once you change the value, it has a certain look at that. And so when we keyframe, we're saving.
Iya sih, kalau cuma ini mah aman sih. Sini terus tambah adjustment. Size. Oke.
Get this value of whatever parameter we choose at this certain point in time, which is where our frames are at. And if we go in a certain other length of time, say we go over here to frame 24, then we can make another keyframe with a different value. And the two keyframes will make a path or a line that goes in between all those values. So say you have 1 and 2, all these other frames in here will have values between 1 and 2 in order to make that movement in the scene. And that's how you size, and that'll be our first keyframe. Let's go to frame 24 and click another keyframe, and I want it to end at 1, so we're actually going to hit this arrow where this keyframe is and then go back, and this will be our first keyframe, and then we're going to change this value to 3. I like using 3. It's a good value for the zoom outs right here. And I'm going to go and play this back real quick, hit the space bar. You can see our zoom out like that, and I'm just going to mute that. I don't want that playing back every single time, but you can see our zoom out. It's not very smooth, but we're going to smooth that out with keyframes and still have between do like check mark, you can, and that'll do the same thing just like that. And if you hit Control A, that'll highlight all of our keyframes here, and then we're gonna hit S, and that'll kind of smooth it out, and it'll give us a different type of interpretation here. So right now it starts out a little smaller, and then it goes super fast, and then it ends a little bit smoother than we had it before with the linear interpretation like this. And so like more of a swing in, this little handles down. See with the frame handle, I'm just going to drag Control Z in order to undo that. And then if we actually hold down, click on Alt, and then drag this to the left, then it'll make sure that it's actually going left to right, and it wasn't going up and down like that. So something like that will work. Right now, we have our graph like this, and let's play it back. As you can see, it has a nice zoom out like that. And this is a little bit too stiff, like the movement. It's just like really, really fast. We can kind of make that looser. So hit Control A, and then maybe bring this out a little bit more like this, or even just let go of Alt and then bring it up a little bit like that. And maybe too stiff, like the movement. It's just like really, really fast. We can kind of make that looser. So hit Control A, and then maybe bring this out a little bit more like this, or even just let go of Alt and then bring it up a little bit like that. And maybe angle this down like this. Maybe a graph like this will work. And let's see, let's play back. For 24 frames, I think that's looking pretty good. And then next we're going to do a zoom in. So shift space. And if we have this node selected already, if we add the transform node now, it will automatically add to this graph. So that's kind of nice. And if we have this node selected already, if we add the transform node now, it will automatically add to the zoom in. So shift space. And if we have this node selected already, if we add the transform node now, it will automatically add to this graph. So that's kind of nice. So if you want to make that real quick, select the node, want the node to be after, and then that'll do that real quick. So we have another transform node here, and I want to do our zoom in, and I want to make it about 1/4 or 1/8 of a second long, and in 24 frames, that'll be around from 5 frames to 3 frames. And let's just make it 5 for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1/4 of a second basically. And we're gonna keyframe this here, and then we're gonna go to the end again, keyframe again, but this time we're gonna zoom in, and we can just, instead of typing the number that we want to put in there, actually just drag, click and hold, and then drag this to the right. That'll allow us to zoom in with our going left to right, dragging with our mouse in order to do that. And right now, zooming in to right there, we don't want to zoom in there. We want to zoom in on his face. So that is where we adjust the pivot point. So the pivot point controls where the point is on the image that we're zooming in. So we want to go around here, maybe like a 0.8, like up here, and then let's drag this to the left over here. That should work. Maybe we want this to go higher, maybe like a value for 1. Nah, 1's way too high. I think around here is fine. So just somewhere on his face, you see where that X is. So if we play this back, we can see, really zoom in on his face, let's adjust our spline, open the spline panel, and click, select all, Control A, S, and then drag down like this. And now we have like our start of our zoom in right there. And so yeah, that's basically it for now. And then we can go and
Oh, oke. Aku ngerti sekarang. Salah jir. The fuck. Hey yo, the fuck. Kesalahan. Nah. Oke. 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 Hey.
Finish this transition on the next scene. So let's go back to the edit page and then go over to the next scene. Let's open in our adjustment clip X and let's add another transform node. This time I'm not gonna actually hit shift space, but there's this little, I guess, kind of recycle symbol in a square, and that's actually the transform node in our toolbar. This is the toolbar over here. So if I click that, it will allow us to make a transform really fast as well. So that's another way of adding a transform node. And this time we're going to zoom in on his face. That is going to be around here. And we kind of want to match the same pivot point that we put before. So I believe it was at like 0.3 and like 0.9ish. So that should work. And then if we keyframe at the beginning, let's go to 24 frames again, and then keyframe at the end, and then zoom in like this. That should work. Maybe a little lower again, something around there. I like to go like 1.2, and that's a good value to zoom in after a zoom in transition, because you want your values to always be going up. So we keyframe from 1 to 2, and now we're keyframing from 1 to 1.2. So all those values are increasing on the zoom. So now it looks correct. And then let's open our spline panel, select the node again, and hit size, and hit Control A, S, and then let's make a graph instead like this. So now it's zooming in just like that. It may be a little bit too stiff. Let's try that again. Right there is good. And then we can play back. So that kind of makes a seamless transition here. When you do a zoom in transition, you don't always have to move at the pivot point. You can just have it zoom into the middle. That's fine. But I kind of wanted to match where the position of his head was, especially because these two scenes match pretty well together. So that looks pretty seamless to me. And so we'll do that for now. And I want to hit this beat here where it hits again. And so in order to do that, we're going to do a little bit of a zoom out. And so let's add our transform node again, and bam, right there. So we'll go up to the spline panel, and you can see where our marker is, where we placed it earlier. It is right here. Sometimes if you click around here and you kind of move it, I don't have that enabled on. If you just right click it, go up to options, and then disable a marker grab right there. And that'll allow it so you can't move this marker even if you try to. And so that's a little bit nicer. And I want to do a little bit of a zoom in. And so we're gonna use a different type of graph and a different type of keyframing. So let's go here and let's go 3 frames back from this point. 1, 2, 3, bam, keyframe. And let's go, I guess like 24 frames from that point. That's fine. Somewhere around there is fine. Keyframe again, like that. And then this time, instead of doing a zoom in, we're probably gonna do like a zoom out because we have extra space because we just zoomed in. And so let's do the zoom out like this. So we're gonna drag this value down. But we're seeing like these values over here, and now we're seeing like values we don't want to really see. And so in order to fix that, we can go over to the edges and hit mirrored edges. And that'll kind of mirror the edges of the clip. It'll kind of make it more seamless. But make sure if you do mirrored edges on one transform here, you want to do it on the other one. Do that here. Let me see. We have a little bit more real estate to work with. So yeah, that's good right there. Maybe a little bit less back like that. That'll work. And if we move this pivot point up, it'll kind of hide where we have that point at. So maybe we'll do a pivot point at 1, and then we have a zoom out here. And so this actual clip is actually being shown because we want to minimize the amount of motion tile or mirrored edges that we see. And then make sure, let's go open our graph here, Control A, hit S, and scroll this down here like that. And we want this vertical point of this graph to be under this marker, and that'll give us the fastest movement at the point of time where the beat hits. And the more vertical the line on the graph is, the faster the movement that you have keyframed is going to be. So yeah, so right there, that works pretty good. That's synced pretty well. We can even make it faster if you want. We can just drag this a little bit more, maybe drag this like this, and yeah, so that works for me. If you are getting actually both these nodes in the spline page and you only want one, you actually go to the 3 dots over here, hit show only selected tool, and so that'll only show whatever tool you have selected, the spline controls for that. So I usually have that on. It's a good addition to have there. We need to do the second transition for this, and this is going to be a slide to the right. So let's add another transform node. Let's go to the end over here. Let's go to the center, go say 5 frames, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left, and then keyframe again, and let's go back to the end, and then let's move this to the left. So right now we're still missing, all this footage, but if we turn on mirrored edges, there we have area to work with. And I'm probably going to do it like about a quarter of the screen, or like a third. If we hit Control G in the graph view, you can kind of see between this point and this point, probably the best. Around there, maybe a little bit more is fine. Let's totally fit this. And we have a zoom in here, or pump out. Then our start of our slide, at the beginning we have our second part of our zoom out. And now let's go over here, let's go to the next jump.
Okay, dah paham sih. Lanjut. Oke, 1,5. sebenarnya udah perlu sih. Salah. Terus. Aduh, rek salah. Ya, oke sih. Ini harus di ini. Oke sih. Boleh. Kak Mira. Halo Mas Haci. Ya nah. Ntar ini komennya kegedean anjir. Gak kelihatan komennya. Kalau gak ada yang komen sih bang, biarlah. Mana sih? Nah, ini gak sih harusnya? Oke. Ting 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 ting. Oke, di sini udah di mirror. Lima, enam. Ibu Hoyo, I'm okay, but gitulah. I'm good. Ding, ding, ding. Thank you for asking. Ding, ding. Ding, ding. Ding, ding. Oke. Motion blue. this is lumayan lah ya. This is pretty good. Yeah. Tinggal tambah transform lagi. Terus nah terlalu over. Oke. Transform 1 mungkin. Nah, I read it in my second monitor. Wait guys. Ting. Oke. Tadi sampai 14. Oh no. Salah. Ding. I have to monitor ya. I have only to monitor. Ting. Canvas mirroring. Damn, this is pretty good, man. Let's go. Okay, nice. I kinda like it, bro. Sam. Wait. Yeah. This is pretty good. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Damn. Wait. Udah berapa lama, Jir? Wait. Capek juga, Jir, rupanya. Lumayan capek anjing. Udah hampir 2 jam. Tadi geser. Ke samping ya. Ting. I'm from Indonesian. Yeah, you know, corruption. Yeah, I'm from Indonesian, bro. Ting. Yos. Nah. Wait. Motion blur. Okay. Mm. 1.5. Yeah. Ding ding. Okay, nice. This is good. Okay. Um, mm. The fuck? Ah. Yeah. Oh, I'm using DaVinci Resolve 19. Thank you, by the way. Ah, uh, yeah, I'm just starting to learn how to use it because yeah, I don't know why. Hmm. Eh, yeah, I use this DaVinci. This is a free software. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Oh, what the hell? Yeah. Mhm. Okay, okay. Nice, nice. Hmm. yeah, well, you know, After Effect, to use it, I don't have money. So I just use DaVinci because this is free software, yeah. And yeah, the features are very complete too. So, ya gitulah. Ting ting ting. Canvas mirror. Nice. Transform. Damn, this is. Hey, wait. Kayak gini ya. Nice ya. Oke. Ya. You know, I'm just I don't wanna to use prototype because I make money from making AMV, you know. If I use prototype software, then my income will become haram. Yeah. My income will become haram dan I don't want, dan aku tidak ingin Yeah, and I don't want that to happen. Yeah, so I use DaVinci. Sorry, my English so bad. You know. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry my English so bad. Ya, itulah. Ting 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 ting. Refresh it. This one. What does wait bentar. Ija chill guy. Hell nah. Haram. Yeah, you could say my income is illegal. Thank you. Ya, haram, illegal, ya. And I don't wanna to that happen. Right? Ding, ding, ding. Ya. Ting, ting, ting. Bentar lagi sepuh kayaknya ini mah. Enggak, Cok. Masih lama ini, masih lama. That's my name, dude. Yeah. Yeah, my friend call me Ija, Mija gitu. That's my name. Ya. shit. Holy. DaVinci berapa GB? Berapa sih? Mana sih lihat nih? Hmm, 4 GB. 4,5 GB lah. Nggak berat, Cok. Size 8, 9, 10, 11. Gas, Cok. Gak tau, lumayan enak sih, gak terlalu gimana juga. Baru bentar make udah ya agak kebiasa lah. Okay, nice. Damn. Lumayan. Damn. Wait. Ding. Nice. Ding. my back. Wait. Hmm. Hmm. Wait, guys. I want to drink. I want to drink. Yeah. Ting 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 ting. Hmm. Oke. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Oke, sip. Blur, blur. Ah, hmm. Hmm, 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 hmm. This is pretty good, man. Yeah, I like it. Let's go. Okay guys, maybe today is enough. I'm already pretty tired. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.